What is up, guys? It's another episode of Burchalations, and this is episode 34. And today, I guess I'll be the one carrying the episode. Now, you're probably thinking that we are in a whole different venue than we usually are. That's because we are. We are in the good old 865 in good old Knoxville, Tennessee. And, you know, we have, and, you know,
roll balls.
Okay.
Cut.
Okay, we are ready to start this off with a...
Nope.
Okay, all right, so this is episode 34. You know, I think this episode is going to be a lot of fun, so if you ladies would like to introduce yourselves from the end to the end, then we can get started.
I'm Raegan.
I'm Alyssa. And I'm Cass.
Nice to meet you, ladies. Okay.
And we're the three amigos.
Yeah.
Yep, the three amigos. The three amigos. And I guess that makes me Parker Dos Compadres.
Loser. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah.
I know. Got a good ring to it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, you know what? See, I'll just, you know.
Wait, can you play it again?
All right. So, who wants to ask the first question? Do you want me to? Do you guys want to? All right. I'll ask the first question.
I'm scared.
All right. Question number 1. Why do you ladies think a stable relationship nowadays is often mistaken as boring?
I think, for me personally, because like I've only been in toxic relationships where it's just like constant arguing. So if I'm in a relationship and we're not arguing all the time, I'm like, okay, what's happening? This is, nothing's happening here.
What? I think on the same note, it's so normalized to be in a toxic relationship these days. It's so like you guys don't fight. What? Never heard of, which is really sad. It's really sad. But I agree, and I don't think it's the fact that it's necessarily boring. But I think if there's not drama, then it's not I don't know, it's not crazy. And if people are so used to the crazy, then that may be their version of boring. I think it's peaceful personally, but
I've not been in a committed relationship before, so I don't know if I can answer this question. Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so my thing is, I think as I've gotten older, my appreciation for boring has gone up. If that's what's considered boring nowadays, I think my appreciation for boring has gone way up. But yeah, it's like you ladies said. I mean, it's being normalized nowadays, and it does suck, but that's just the way it is. And we could complain about it or B, adapt to it. And I just try to adapt as much as possible. I mean, now I ain't gonna tolerate that bullshit now, but
Oh God.
But I do have to realize that that it's a thing nowadays, or that it is normalized. So what can I really do about it? I mean, hell, what can you do about it? That kind of shocked me a little bit.
change the stereotype.
Yeah, I mean, change the narrative within our
Rewrite
generation. Yeah, but you kind of shocked me a little bit saying that you've never been in a committed
Raegan
relationship.
is just too good for everybody. So
She's got high standards.
good.
High standards is
I just
that's the thing.
I mean, it's not like I had never been in relationships before. I hate the term situationship, but I've had I've gotten to know guys and went on dates and whatnot, but it's just never been never gotten past the point of talking or dating. So I don't know. I have some people say I'm picky, but I just have these requirements that boxes that I want them to tick. But I mean, I don't think I'm asking a lot just for someone to respect me and pursue me full-heartedly. So yeah, I don't know.
You get a ding. Okay?
W Raegan.
You get a ding, but yeah, I think that's a pretty acceptable answer. I mean, you have some requirements and they're not being met, and that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly fine. I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't think it'd be really healthy for you to. I don't like using this word, but settle.
Settling is not good. You're never going to be happy that way.
Especially in the position where you're at right now. I mean, you wouldn't really have to settle or shouldn't have to really. So Honestly, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, so I won't waste my time, and
Yeah.
the right person it'll be right. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's my opinion on it. Is like when it is the right time. Here's a piece of advice that I learned. You're not going to find the person that is right for you until you are the person that is right for you. So you're not going to find what you're looking for until you have become the person that you are looking for, because they're not looking for the version of yourself you are right now.
I like
Shots
that.
I love
fired.
that answer. I love that answer. And here is another question where you ladies are going to love. You ladies are going to love this one. All right. So the next question for you ladies.
Testing.
Sorry. So the next question for you ladies is, where are the men fucking up?
Okay, this is a opinionated opinion, obviously, but thinking that women are just going to keep pursuing them. I think it's human nature for guys to be hunters and them pursue women, but I think it doesn't work when women are pursuing men. It's not how it should be. So, like, I think that's, or at least somewhat of a balance or like a proportion. Like, I mean, I think men need to pursue women,
Okay.
and that's how it was. I feel like in history and whatnot.
It's a nuclear family. That's the purpose of it. Like, so, like, those of us that are like, okay, so, like, I'm Christian. Like, that's how I was raised. That's, like, the way my family works. My dad is the leader of the household. He is the religious leader. He's the moneymaker. Like, my mom still works. My mom still makes money. Mom still talks about Jesus. Like, all of that stuff. But, like, for me, like, I want a marriage based off of my parents' marriage. And so, like, for me, like, I am looking for someone, like, it's not 50-50, it's 100-100, but it is someone that went out of his way to ask me on a date and to, like, was very forward with his intentions, was like, this is what I'm looking for. And so many guys these days have no idea what they're looking for. Or, like, for me, like, some of my previous situationships, they're either not ready to commit or they think they're too messed up to commit. And
that's just an excuse.
That's an excuse, but like,
Bullshit.
like the thing is when you find someone that is mature enough to actually like know what they're looking for, they're going to take their problems and work with them, like with you. And I think like I read something about like unpacking your baggage, and it's like you're not bringing baggage into a relationship, you're unpacking it together. And so it really depends on like how you look at it. But I just think like men these days, they either don't know what they want or they don't care enough to go get it.
Or their egos are too big to
Or
pursue.
I think the main issue.
That is a big issue. Our egos. I will admit that.
Yeah,
You
that's
have a
very
big
true.
ego issue. I will definitely admit that.
The main issue that like I've seen in guys, maybe it's like my taste in guys, I don't know, but a lot of guys are just like in like hookup culture, and it's so bad.
Don't get me started on that.
Like they're literally just there for the hookup culture. Like they don't want anything, and they'll act like they do, but they literally just want sex.
You must have been reading my note. You must have been reading my notes. 'Cause there's another question that I have about that, and you're going to
Shoot.
really love this, okay? Because it kind of goes with your answer. Why do I'm just asking a question?
Okay.
Why do women complain about hookup culture when they're the ones who really control it?
I think, like, obviously, like, we complain because we want somebody to be there and, like, actually love us for us. But, like, as bad as it is to say, a lot of females will feed into hookup culture, not because they want to, but because they, like, want the attention. And, like, that's the only way that they're going to get attention from that guy. And so they're like, oh, I'll take what I can get kind of deal.
It's our only option.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very sad, but it's very, very real.
It's very rare to see a woman desperate for something that she absolutely can't control. But yeah, I just found it hilarious that they're the ones complaining about it when they're the ones who really control it. I mean, you guys are what we like to call the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
And the fact that you guys control your gate, you guys have great power with that gate, and you have authority with your gate. Well, guess what else you have whenever you have authority? You have responsibility. And the fact that you guys have responsibility, it means that you're always going to get blamed for that area, which is hookup culture. And I think I said this a while ago. I said that the female preference will control the evolution of the human race, and that's going to be for the end of time. So I guess in this generation, I guess you could say that it's popular for a woman to like the bad boys or the assholes nowadays, and and a lot of men, they're picking up on that. And a lot of men, they're picking up on that.
Called out.
So guess what men are going to turn into? They're going to turn into exactly what you want.
Bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you, bad boy?
I can't say anything serious, but like I was saying though, men, we've adapted and they're becoming the men that you so very wanted from
like
your
being different,
I never
queen.
saw that. I never noticed that.
because we may hear you say, hey man, I want a good guy. Okay, we listen to you talk. Okay, we will listen to you talk. But before we listen to you talk, we will watch your reality, and that will speak everything for us.
I think, like, when a lot of guys say, like, good guys finish last, I don't think that's true. I think, like, you could be a good guy without being, like, overly nice. Like, being overly nice is a little weird. Maybe that's just, like, the female in me.
You're hearing this shit right now, right?
I thought it was really interesting when you said that, like, women control hookup culture, because I've never seen it that way. And, like, for me, so I just got into a relationship not too crazy long ago, but as far as, like, my past before that, like, all of the issues I had with guys were guys that either didn't want to commit or just, like, didn't know what they wanted, like, at all. And they would be like, well, I don't really date, but I date for you. And it was like, I don't want to be sitting here like the girl that's different and then use that as an excuse for your hookup culture. And so... Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Like, I get exactly what you're saying, but I will say, as a man, he'll probably say the same thing. We know what we want before we start talking to you.
Well,
we know exactly what we want.
You may be different then, because the men
true?
I have been with in the past do not think that.
Trust me. Everyone knows exactly what we want before we even talk to the person.
I was about to say, is it true, like, this might be what you were about to say. Is it true, like,
guys know within like 10 minutes of meeting?
Yeah.
A girl, like,
Oh yeah. But we'll know within the first conversation. Especially the men who are smart. We will study that girl before we even talk to her.
You know what's really funny?
What?
So I'm going way back here. Y'all mentioned about you Raegan mentioned about how guys have to make that first move, right?
Not they have to, but like
It's normalized.
It's about intention.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I had noticed that when it came to history and things like that, what were the girls doing? Dropping pens on the floor, dropping a napkin, and
you can like hint that you're interested, but
they were picking up the signal. They were giving the guy the signal like, "Hey, I'm attracted to you. I want you to make a move on me," and it'll be up to the guy to catch the move and then act on it. So ultimately, historically speaking, women make the first move, and it's the guy to capitalize on it.
Or that show interest first, but then the guy pursues.
That was a great.
That was pretty good.
That was a great explanation.
I
That
like
was
that.
a great
No one
explanation.
forgot. People forgot about that.
That was a great
But here's the
explanation.
W. Parker.
Here, I think that like we can give them the green flag to make the first move.
You know what
We
I'm
can give them
saying?
so
They walk past
because
the
of their
guy, they're
egos.
Yes.
So the guys more apt to.
Hey, you dropped this. Oh, hey, my
Big
my
fast.
name's Chad Thundercock. Nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, I mean, I get that, but I'm more of a
Play ball.
I mean, like I was saying with like guys' egos nowadays. Sorry, the truth. I mean, us females have like issues too, obviously, but
Not pride.
huh?
You guys have pride. We have egos.
Actually, I agree with that.
No,
But
it's different.
with the egos, though, like, you want to give them a green flag so they won't get turned down when they do make the first move. That makes sense. So it gives them kind of like a
Like confidence.
Well,
that they won't
I
get
think-
turned down.
Yeah.
So
I think that's fair too. I also think that nowadays guys don't know whether a girl or guy likes them.
because we're so hot,
I think
everyone's so
guys
hot
I
cold.
think guys have to guess nowadays. Whereas like, okay, I know I can do this or make the next move. Guys are too scared because they're going to get SA'd out here. You know, sexual harassment. Like, huh? Girls will be like, somebody help me. And I'm like, I just said hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just an issue with society being so sensitive nowadays. So.
Yeah, very
Yeah, I
true.
agree with that. We're
Very
being raised in a society of snowflakes.
Don't let her be around. And don't let her be around single friends. Because I will say this: in most cases, single women they keep other women single.
I agree with that.
You want to talk about that?
100%.
Huh?
You want to talk about that?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to leave it.
Yes. Because I was over here asking her. I was asking myself this question.
He almost ate shit.
Okay.
Edna walk.
Velma,
Okay, because I was asking myself this question last night when I was around him. I was just asking myself this question: who cockblocks men more, other men or women? I'm over here trying to figure this out. Because, I mean, I guess in most of my experiences, or most times where I've been around him, it's been other women for the most part. Because say that we're in a guy group, right? We're not going to try and, like, fuck up our friends, like, moment. Like we're going to be like, hey, yo, man, if you're doing something, you know, man, just text us, let us know you're there. Women, on the other hand, man, we could be in, like, in a good-ass conversation. They'll be like, come here.
Yeah.
And then
and then that's the end of the conversation. It's like, yeah, but it's like we're giving you guys the benefit of a doubt. So it's like it's not really fair when we don't really get that benefit of a doubt.
I think it's like, especially if you're in like a bar scene, usually it's like a bunch of guys making girls uncomfortable. So we just kind of look out for each other in that type of sense.
Yeah, it's more
I can
just
say
like
this.
a checkpoint. Like, are you good? Like,
Yeah.
doing well?
I can say this. One thing about me personally, okay, I think, I have like either 4 or 5 steps when it comes to approaching a woman. Step 2 is making them comfortable.
Okay.
After the introduction, obviously. You got to make them feel comfortable, okay? Because one thing I learned, you get the most out of a woman when she truly feels safe. And when she feels safe, it's easy for her to operate.
As in like vulnerability, right?
Well,
What do you mean, like?
Well, you're not in fight or flight mode constantly.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
if I'm at a bar and some random guy's hitting on me and I'm like obviously uncomfortable, then that's like should be like not a green flag. For
You're
you.
like-
You should
Yeah.
be like, okay, I'm gonna back off now.
Hell,
That's the other thing. Guys don't take hints these days.
They do not.
it's
take
very
no for an
hard.
answer.
It's very hard for them to take hits. I will definitely say that. I can't defend these guys when it
Well-
comes to this.
Yeah,
like,
it's
It's hard
so
to
bad.
generalize too.
Yeah, but Yep, that's another question that I have since you guys refer to taking hints. Who do you think is better at communication,
Women.
men or women?
I think okay.
I think men.
Hot take. I think in a sense men are because they're. I think that they. Let's see. I think they're pretty blunt. In a sense, like I think us women like kind of get in our own heads.
I think we're in a society where men aren't allowed to cry, so men don't. They don't do as well with like displaying their emotions, and when they like feel a certain way about something, especially if it's like more of a sensitive subject. Like for me in a relationship, like if he has a problem with something, he's more worried about like hurting my feelings but sacrificing his own at the same time.
I was just gonna say I think they're kind of okay. You have to like simple. They're just like really blunt and honest. Like you can tell us if a guy's not interested, they'll just like ghost you. Yeah. So like I think us we get in our own heads and then we like are asking the questions like why is he ghosting me or whatever. Like we just like I think guys are more blunt and
True.
girls are just kind of we try to like over analyze and over look and over.
Yeah.
Is that the word? I don't know if
But girls overthink everything.
I'll get back to you.
So I agree on that.
I'll get back to you in a second, but I wanted to talk to you, Cass.
Uh-oh.
You said women, okay? If the answer is women, how come the majority of the time us men we're expected to be mind readers and read body language?
Well, so like this may be different for me because I do think like I think differently than most people I surround myself with, which isn't a bad thing.
Different.
No, it's not bad.
I just do, but like for me, like if I can tell something is on somebody's mind, I'll be like, what are you thinking about? Because I'm very much like point blank period, like tell me what's going on. Like if there's something that's bothering you, I'd rather know. And so like that's like as far as like me, that's not saying like, oh, I'm such a better communicator than Gabe, like whatever. He's a great guy, I promise. But like it's very much like I feel like if I'm talking to like my guy friends or whatever, like sometimes I'll have to be like, you can open up to me, like it's allowed, it's okay. Whereas like for me, like I'm kind of an open book because like for me, the stuff I've gone through, like the stuff that like makes me, that's not like trauma to me anymore. It's part of my testimony. And so like that is something like I'm okay with talking about, and like that's why I would say like me and people like me that I do surround myself with seem to be pretty good communicators because like that's what I'm looking for in a friend. So like I may not have, like I may be a little biased on that, but like, and most guys I've talked to, like they're not as in depth. Like it's really hard to get a guy to open up these days because of the societal, like the whole thing about men not being able to cry. And like, I don't think that men crying like makes their masculinity fragile. I think it makes it more real. Like,
and I will say this, believe it or not, there is a lot. I think most men, we actually do open up, but it's usually we do it around other guys.
Yeah.
And we do that because we know that our woman, she'll easily be able to provide sympathy, but in some situations she won't be able to provide empathy, because empathy is really understanding that experience and
putting yourself in their shoes.
Yes, and we know that other men, they will be more likely to give us that empathy, because usually most men, we usually all go through the same shit around, or for the most times. That's why whenever a woman has her first period, she's not going to go to her dad, she's going to go to her mom, because she actually knows. Because us as men, we're clueless as hell. We just know it. We just know it lasts a couple of days. We don't really know. We don't really know what's going on. I mean, I'm just being honest. Unless you're like a girl dad, then you really have to like look it up on the internet.
So let me do some research on female anatomy.
Yeah, I know. And trust me, it's still a struggle, because it's still hard to understand, even when you guys speak very, very clearly. But
just biological differences.
You said, yeah, that's very true. But you said something earlier about how guys are honest, and I've heard lately from a lot.
I didn't say all guys are honest. I mean,
yeah.
I know some.
I know what you meant. I know what you got. Okay.
Subjective.
You know what? I've heard from some birdies. Okay, literally, and that means like almost like thousands of people, that men lie to women a lot.
They do. They find enjoyment out of it.
And my question for you is, who lies to women more, men or themselves?
Men. Okay, I will say this. I have a guy friend, okay, and he has told me, I don't know if it's true for every guy, but he has told me that guys enjoy lying to females and arguing with females because they love the reaction that they get from it. Like it feeds their like ego.
So the theme of this is
gives me the
ego related.
Yes, like it's so bad.
I also think men lie to protect themselves.
I don't think they realize the consequences of it. They don't see anything past here. So that's, again, very generalized. So they will lie, not thinking of the future repercussions of that.
Because men don't have brains.
I got a question.
Yes.
Since me and my brother, we started this podcast, have you seen that we've maybe gotten a lot of backlash from women for the most part since we started this podcast? And has most that we've been saying have been statistically proven to be true?
I mean, I don't want to hear lies intentionally.
People don't want to hear the truth.
Exactly. And since we speak the truth and we still get backlash for it,
it's because we're being raised in a generation of snowflakes and nobody knows how to handle the wrong answer.
What? Okay. Okay. And yeah, and that's for some reason, and that's why a lot of men lie, because I mean, it's fucked up to say this, but there's a lot of women out here who can't handle the truth, and that's okay.
There's a lot of people in general that can handle the truth.
And that's okay, but there's a lot of people who don't really reward the truth, and I always say this: if you're going to punish the truth, what was the phrase? Parker, what was the phrase? There you go. Okay, if you punish the truth, you're asking to be lied to. All right, and
true.
And I say this,
truth.
I say this.
Speak facts.
You ladies are 1,000% right.
Thank
a lot
you.
of men.
We're never wrong.
That's gaslighting.
All right, I will say this: you guys are 1,000% right. A lot of men lie to women. God damn it!
Mic drop.
Okay, as I was saying, you guys are 1,000% right. A lot of men do lie to women, but women lie to themselves so much more.
Okay, but when women lie to themselves, I think it's more of like the overthinking thing than it is like intentionally. Like, dude, I don't gaslight myself intentionally unless it's like to be productive.
Let me tell you something. We live in a generation where women lie to themselves so much, they've made it popular to lie to themselves.
Oh yeah.
Think about it. Okay, we have a whole word for this. Do you know what that word is? Delusional.
I love being delusional.
I love being. That's she's right. I
That's
like
the
being
podcast
delusional.
name.
But I think
Delusional.
I think in some like aspects it could be nice because like if I'm sitting here lying to myself that I'm the prettiest girl in the room, I mean that's just gonna make me feel good about myself.
Yeah, but I mean when it comes to like men, like when it comes to their delusion, it definitely takes a toll on because here's one thing I've learned about some ladies that I've been around, and their guys always lied to them. Once they've made up their mind that they like that man, nothing that he says ever has to make sense ever again.
What?
And I know it doesn't sound right, but if you like really think about it,
And the times that women do leave the man, it's when the delusion snaps.
it's when it snaps. And
Ding.
and
Thank you.
and they kind
I
of
like
shoot
that
themselves in the foot
Love
because
it.
some they bounce while some bounce when they realize it really early. Some do it when it's way too late, and when they just can't turn back. Because I think I will say this: women, they have this ability to where they can read a room way better than men.
Oh yeah.
They can read a room 10 times better than men. I think you guys are more
Intuitive.
yes, and I think you guys are more
Socially aware.
Yeah, socially superior
Thanks.
than us men. I will definitely give you guys that crown. So I think that women, you guys have these things that we like to call FBI skills. Okay.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I have a story
We
for
were
you
just
if you want to
talking
know.
about
it.
So with those things,
I have a story.
I
too.
still find it quite astonishing how so many women can choose the wrong man, even while
because they look good.
having the FBI skills. See, and that's crazy.
Yeah, but you also can't see
They
somebody's
6'5".
personality over social media. So like if you're
Facts.
looking for like you can look to like make sure his like plate is clean, but you can't find out like okay, number one, you can see that he's not posting with a whole bunch of girls. That's great. That doesn't mean he's not doing things with a whole bunch of girls. Like,
now, I'm not choosing. Now, I'm not saying choosing the wrong man when it comes to just like, like relationships or hookups. Some of these ladies, they're having kids by these men. Okay,
Yeah, it's insane.
And
Yeah, I
this is that bullshit. Okay, because
like, is that really who you want to be the father of your children?
that's what I'm saying. What
Yeah.
here's what I'm
Living your life for
thinking.
the rest of your life.
Here's what I'm thinking, man. I'm like this, man. If he's shown that he can't lead his own life correctly, how is he going to lead you
Yeah, facts.
or a kid?
Yeah, I agree
Okay,
with that 1,000%.
and I see this crap. All right, because me and we live in Lebanon. Okay, we see this shit all the time. Okay, it's completely baffling how many ladies have chosen these men to have kids with, thinking that everything's going to turn out well. They think that he's going to change just because he had a kid. All right, but let me tell you a quick secret on how to know that if a man will take care of his kid. Make sure he takes care of you first.
And his mother.
Yes.
Okay, because chances are,
Heavy on that.
Because chances are, if a man doesn't take care of you, he's not gonna want to take care of what comes out of you. Okay, even if it's his own.
Just about like the fact that if they don't have a family, like you don't know what to base that off of.
Yeah.
And like for me, like I really do look like when I'm on FaceTime with him and his mom's in the background, like I'm going to watch how he interacts with her. I'm going to watch how he interacts with his 14-year-old sister. Because he said, because that's the kind of stuff that's like, that's long term. Like it's not that 6 months and it wears off with you. It's that like, this is how you commonly interact. Like you're not going to be on your best behavior in your kitchen on FaceTime with your mom and me, like whatever.
And I love that point that you made, because while you guys look at us and how we treat our mom and sister, we do the exact same thing with fathers. I mean, if they have a father. If they have a father, of course. But assuming they
rare.
do, but okay,
Sorry.
okay, but assuming they do, we see how you talk about him, and we see how you talk to him. I mean, we see both of those things, because like, if you can't respect the man who's half the reason why you're born, then how you gonna respect me? It's gonna be very difficult.
That goes for like the way he treats his mom is how he treat you. The way he leaves her is how he'll leave you. I mean, it's all the
Facts.
same concept of like, I mean,
Yeah,
History
respecting-
repeats itself.
yeah. Here's one thing I learned. Usually, the ladies who have these things called daddy issues, they have more of a resentment towards men. And I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, I'm not really mad about it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just acknowledging it. But I mean, because me and him, we both grew up in a single mom household. Mm-hmm. So we both know how it is, and we both know that what it can do to people. Like for example, we as guys, we grew up with every statistical disadvantage. I mean, because the fact that we grew up in that kind of household, we're more likely to go to prison. We're more likely to commit violent crimes. We're just more likely to be more emotionally reactive. I'm very much a big victim towards that one, but I can't really help it. I mean, but I don't really use that as an excuse anymore because, like, I'm 21 years old. All right, and it's not really fair to the woman if I didn't address those issues before I took her seriously. So I just don't really use that as a freaking, what you call it, as
excuse?
An excuse.
There's a difference in there being a reason for something versus using it as an excuse.
Yeah, I'm not going to use that as an excuse because I think that we're in full control of how we operate.
Yeah. And given your situation, or like just in general, like what you've been blessed with, or you've been dealt, the cards you've been dealt, it's like you can make that a part of you and like the way you are, and like learn from it too.
Yeah,
and give you a different perspective on how to treat people and the way to look at the world.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I have a reason to act the way I do. I have a reason to react the way I do because of what I've been through and who I am. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to treat people the same way I've been treated.
Yeah.
Because it's a reason. It's not an excuse.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't expect people to accept me, I guess you could say, if I was acting a certain way because of the issues I was dealing with. I'm just not going to expect people to do that because it's not really fair towards them. It's not. I mean, maybe that's just me though. And next question. Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, what's good?
It's kind of like off topic. It's kind of talking about like line dancing and stuff. Why do guys, because I'm like genuinely curious, like why do guys get so worked up when like a female wants to go to the bar to dance? Not go to the bar to drink, but just go to the bar to dance.
That's a really good question. Okay. So, all right, so there might be some different factors towards it. Me personally, I don't really mind I don't really mind.
Over there stirring the pot.
Me personally, I don't really mind if my woman just wants to go dance because I'm assuming that I probably want to go dance too. So that's me. I'm going to go with her more than likely. Now, if she was going by herself, okay, maybe some eyebrows might be raised, but it's not because of her. It would never be because of her.
Because of the guys that are
It would be because of the other guys. Because we know how other men think. And we know that there are a lot of pieces of shit, okay? All right, we know that for a fact, okay? Okay, I will not lie to you, okay? I know for a fact, okay? I know for a fact that there are a lot of pieces of shit out here. I mean, and the fact that I know that I want to do what I can to protect you in that matter. So I would more than likely go with you than try to leave you by yourself because it wouldn't be anyone else's responsibility to protect you because
sorry, we're playing footsies.
Because at the moment that I decide to take you seriously, that's the moment where I give myself the responsibility to protect you.
Right.
And if that means that if I have to go to the bar with you, then I'm going to do that. So I think that here's where most guys I think here's why they get upset. It's like in most cases is like we have the responsibility to protect you, but we don't really have any authority on how to protect you, I guess you could say. But that's how some guys feel, and we feel like we have responsibility without authority. And what is responsibility without authority is slavery. And we just don't want to deal with that. I mean, and we don't want to deal with, because some guys, I ain't gonna lie, some guys, they out here moving like they don't give a fuck about life anymore. So they can just snap at any moment.
Yeah.
That so they can just snap at any moment that a girl says no, because a lot of guys, they don't really take rejection well. They kind of build resentment and not character, which that's their fucking fault. But I mean, we know what a guy is capable of, and we don't think that our girl can like defend herself towards a man.
Any guy I've talked to, like, that's not in the dance scene, it's always people that aren't in the dance community that don't dance. They'll always be like, oh, you're going to the bar, like you're literally going for men. I'm going to dance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I also, it's kind of difficult too being in the dance community because like swing dancing and stuff is a thing.
Yeah.
And if you're with somebody, usually they get very insecure and don't want you swing dancing with somebody. You know what I mean? So like, what do you feel about that?
Well, question. Okay. So do they tell you, okay, so here's my question. So do they withhold the fact that they may mind you swing dancing?
So usually at first, to like reel me in, they'll be like, oh, I love that you dance, like that's so cool. But then once they actually realize the reality of it, like, oh, I'm line dancing, I have guy friends that go to the bar, like I swing dance, it's partner dancing with a guy, they don't like that, and they're like, oh, I don't think you should be doing that.
Okay, and did you let them know that from the beginning?
Yes.
Okay, so you're right, it is insecure on their part because they lied in fear of losing you. All right, a man who is secure is telling you the truth of how he feels about the situation because he's not worried about, I guess, like losing you, I guess. I mean, he's more worried about being honest with you. So I agree. I mean, it was insecure on their part to say that they were okay with, but they really weren't okay with it.
Do you personally think it's a problem if, like, I want, like, all of y'all's opinions. Like, if you're in a relationship, will you dance with somebody else? Because, I mean, like, some guys have that mindset where it's like, I know, like, you do whatever at the end of the night. Like, I know you're coming home with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, so it's like this, okay? I would trust my woman, right?
Yeah.
I would trust that she would, do right by me. And, if she doesn't do right by me, hey, it is what it is, I mean, okay. All right, it is what it is. It's over, okay? All right, it's over.
I was not expecting that.
He knows exactly what I was playing, okay? All right, but he knows that if she violates my trust, hey, you're cooked, all right? You're done. Bye. All right? And all right, and and that's your fault, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I can move on. I can walk away now. And so I would be able to trust my girl, especially if I knew that she didn't have history with that person, then I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah, honestly. Like if a female has history with that person, or like the male liked her at any point, or she liked him, they should not.
Yeah,
it's just a respect thing.
Yeah. That would probably be my only thing. But besides that, I think I'm pretty chill on that.
Okay.
Because I see people swing dance all the time, but they're just,
and it's literally there's like no emotion with it.
Yeah,
like a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you're swing dancing with them, like you're touching them. You're barely touching them. You're touching their hands." Whoa.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Okay, a girl just stares into your eyes after you dip them.
Whoa,
it's about intention.
Like on some movie shit, man. Like on some movie type shit.
Yeah.
That's why
we're not in Dirty Dancing. That's
like,
not.
If you're doing it obviously like to be flirtatious and to like get close to someone, then yeah, that's not gonna go well. But like that's not like most of us in the dancing community like do not think about it like that. Like
no.
Like if I'm line dancing or if I'm swing dancing with somebody, it's usually to get better.
Yeah, exactly. And I had a dance partner by the name of Brooke. We used to do these sweetheart showers.
Brooke.
Yeah, but she's freaking awesome. But we used to do these sweetheart showers together.
Yeah.
All right. I could tell you right now, there was really like no emotion towards it.
No.
All right. The only emotion that we felt was either scared or nervous whenever we tried something new. That was literally the only two emotions that we had.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those were literally the only emotions. All right.
Don't drop her.
That's literally what I was thinking.
See, like I've had many dance partners, and like there's been multiple of them where they think that since we're dancing, we're in love. So like I'm like, yeah, let me not dance with you anymore. But like a lot of people now, like if I go to the bar and say like Kaz or like Hunter, somebody asks me to dance, I literally don't think anything of it. Like I'm just dancing.
Well, because you know their intention behind it too.
Yeah,
exactly. I could line dance with Raegan, and we'll be great afterwards.
Like if a random guy
once
comes
I dropped
up to
her,
me,
then
friendship over.
No, I just have to do a lot of apologizing. I have to do a lot of apologizing.
If a random guy came up to me and asked me to dance, I'd probably say no because usually if they don't know how to dance, they're like just trying to get really close to you.
Yeah.
So
I would say no right there.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the original question?
What's good?
So I think you were talking about like going out like to bars like with other guys or like with other guys being there and like that causing like insecurity. And I think like I have a little bit of a different opinion on that because like I am in a relationship and my boyfriend line dances.
Well, I said that it was insecure. Like if he lied and said that he was okay with it, and then he turned around and said that it wasn't okay with it.
No, but like Lissa's original question was like, can you repeat your original question, please, Shawty?
Shawty Bay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Let me just put down the cards that I was thinking of. It was like, so like my boyfriend line dances down in Florida, and like I know he's out line dancing, he knows I'm out line dancing, or like this weekend, like I didn't go out at all this weekend and he was out anyways. And like there's just such like a mutual like trust and respect there that like I'm not worried. Yeah. I'm not worried. And so I think like, and he's not worried about me either. Like honestly, I don't drink very often, but when I do, I'm sitting there giving him a drunk phone call from the smoke decks, being like, hi, like, but you know, like that's the difference is like where your head's at. Like, like
facts.
Like I'm committed to him whether I'm sober or when I'm drunk, because that's not something that's debatable for me. Like I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to use alcohol as an excuse to go cheat on somebody or to go throw myself at other men. Like that's not who I am, and that's not like what my foundation is. But it's also like that mutual trust and respect is there. So if I expect him to act one way, then I'm going to act the same way because I can't hold him to a standard that I'm not willing to uphold myself.
Yeah, and here's one thing that here's one way how I can show that I trust a girl who wants to like go out. I don't really ask her a lot of questions. I'll just be like, she'll be like, hey, I'm going here. All right, I'm be like, okay, you know, just have fun. You know, like let me know like when you get there. Let me know when you're leaving. You know, just like text me from time to time. You know, man, just like. Yeah, man, you can better text me from time to time, damn it. You're like, damn, like...
You're like, I'd like to know you're alive, please?
Yeah, like, damn.
I've had a guy, like, there's a girl that sets up her phone at the end of the dance floor sometimes. Like, she'll go live. Yeah. You can see the whole Joe. I've had a guy, literally, like, I guess we were, like, talking, and he knew I was going to the Joe, and he knew about that live stream, and he watched the live stream all night long that I was there. And if he even seen me speak to another guy, he would immediately text or call me and be like, yo, what the hell are you doing?
Bro, you might need to reevaluate your choices. I'm not going to lie. You might need to reevaluate.
I go for crazy, man.
Yeah, like I said.
I'm crazy.
Yeah,
there's a healthy amount of crazy.
I'm crazy,
and
like I'm crazier.
Not healthy amount of crazy.
Like the cast scene from like Euphoria. Have you seen Euphoria? You think Maddie's crazier? I'm crazier. That's me.
This is this is a TV girl. We live in this thing called reality, baby. Okay, all right. One thing about reality, it will kick your
What's
ass.
That?
Yeah, never heard of her.
Kidding.
Oh shit. Okay, that's not okay.
To be fair, living in a state of delusion is kind of relaxing.
It's so fun.
Deluland.
Okay. Well,
it's almost like so positive. Like there's no negativity in Delusional.
Yeah.
Well, you as ladies, I will say this. All right, and I'm not mad. I'm just acknowledging this. Okay, obviously, I'm not mad. I'm honestly not mad.
Don't lie.
I'm honestly okay.
Be honest.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Because my life has been
I'm not
better.
mad.
Because my life has been better since I stopped doing this. Okay, but I will say this. Okay, I learned that you as women, you have the luxury of being delusional and still getting ahead in life, while we as men, if we're delusional, you guys are going to do this. You guys will stand up, point, and laugh at our asses if we do that.
Yeah.
It depends on what the delusion's about, because mine is usually like happy, giddy, like go lucky jumping bean. Not
because
like...
I can say this, because I can say this. I deserve a bad bitch, but I'm 300 pounds and I stay home playing Call of Duty and I don't have a job. You guys would look at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts.
All right.
That's not the kind of delusion.
Imagine if I said that, man. Parker would be like, man, hey, yo, man, you cold king. All right, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, kings for life.
Giving you false hope and
feeding
you ego for no reason.
Oh,
you don't want to gaslight yourself. There's a difference between being delusional and gaslighting yourself.
All right.
I don't think there's...
All right, but he'd be lying to me, huh?
I don't think there's a difference.
You don't?
He'd be lying to me. He'd be
I think
me bad
gaslighting
advice,
is closer to like lying, and delusion is more like a state of mind.
Man, delusion brings a lot of people down. I'm not even gonna lie.
Brings me up personally.
Okay, but like when I say I'm delusional, it's like it's not like that negative. Like, oh, I think I'm gonna get stuff I don't deserve. Like what you're saying. Like, oh, You're not gonna be able to pull the hottest girl in the world by sitting on the couch doing nothing for your life, being non-productive and like going nowhere. So that's gaslighting yourself. Like that's negative. I mean, I guess you could say gaslighting is like the negative version of delusion.
Okay, that's fair. All right, true or false?
True.
Okay. You know what?
False.
I'll ask this question first.
2 truths and a lie.
What is
Please.
what is one of your non-sexual turnoffs?
Like turn offs?
Yes.
Okay.
You mean like an instant red flag?
Sure.
The whole crowd is silent. I think when he's mean to his mom.
Okay. I like that one.
Doesn't pay attention to you in group settings. If he's
that
trying to
part.
actually pursue you.
I like that one too.
Like,
I like
acts-
one.
yeah,
that
like-
one's pretty fair. I like that.
Thank you.
Acts
new.
different towards you. Like, say he's with you, like alone versus with you with his friends.
He
and then
acts
he's a different
completely
person.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, I ain't gonna lie. I am a freaking lover boy.
Well, there's a
Whenever I'm
difference
around
in
my
being
friends.
like, I don't expect you to be like all touchy in front of your friends.
Oh,
or
no,
whatever,
no,
like,
no, no, no,
but
no,
like,
no,
you know,
no,
just
no,
like
no, no, no.
treating
I'll
me
be all
like a
touchy.
human.
But like just in being intentional, including you in
be like this.
conversations.
Yeah, but like act like you. So okay, I read a thing the other day that said
Act like you like me.
like it said a thing that was like, am I the pretty girl to your friends, or am I the she's all right, but you could like I'm glad you're happy. Like
Like you can do better.
yeah, like and I thought that was
like
was
man,
like-
like the as long as you're happy for it.
Yeah.
no, but like I don't want to be the girl that's like, oh, as long as you're happy. I want you to be like you scored, like
Damn,
like
that's a
y'all are
bad
perfect.
bitch.
together.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, here's one thing about me though. I don't really brag about my girl to my friends.
It's not
for,
bragging either, though. It's like how you're speaking about someone. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
have to be,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
bragging.
Obviously, I'm going to praise her, but I'm not going to tell them everything because I've changed up my mindset when it comes to how I speak about my woman. I treat her more like treasure now instead of a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one thing about treasure. Okay, you have the treasure. You're going to do whatever that you're going to do whatever you can to protect that. All right, when you're dealing with a trophy, you and a lot more other people are going to try to attain that trophy. All right, and here's one thing about a trophy: someone else wins that same trophy every single year. Shout out to the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out to the Super Bowl. All right,
No
but
comment.
you know, here's my
Bum,
next.
bum, bum.
Here's the next thing that I was going to ask: true or false? Most men and women are single because they don't understand the goals of the game.
Oh, I just lost the game, by the way. Because you said that. I did.
I don't like that question.
Go
Well,
ahead.
it's more of a
Greg.
true or false
It's
question.
how long you'll tolerate the game. Wait, what's the question? Hold on.
I said
Say it again.
I said the
Go back.
game in parentheses.
Rewind.
I got distracted, sorry.
What's say the truth. Sorry, say it again.
Okay, I said true or false. Most men and women are single because they don't understand the rules or the goals of the game.
I think if
guess
you
you
were
could say.
truly not like if you were truly playing the game, then you're gonna remain single.
You don't.
Well-
I feel like if you're playing the game, you don't really want to be in a relationship.
Well,
so you're
well,
gonna stay single.
I don't mean like games. I mean like, but every game has a goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, mine is marriage. Obviously, that's my game. Okay, but I also know like what's the step that I have to accomplish it, even to get close to that goal. Which is, here's my game, attaining the woman. That's my game, is attaining the woman. All right? Because I believe that, like you said earlier, we should be the ones who approach. And I completely agree with that. I completely agree. All right? Because we're supposed to attain the woman. Now, while we're supposed to attain the woman, I believe that...
Pursue or put.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, while we're prioritizing attaining the woman, you know, make sure that she feels safe with us, making her realize that we want to take this woman seriously. I believe that women they should really focus on that goal because you guys can attain a man whatever you guys want. It may not be a man that you respect, but you can attain like a man like any time you want. Now, here's the real game for women. Can you keep the man That's the question. All right. The question for you isn't can you get a man, because you guys
Keep
can
them
get
not
a man
distracted.
exactly. But can you keep the man for a long term relationship? That's the question.
No.
Well, damn. Why are you so
I think
honest?
there's a lot more to it than that.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily think it's like about keeping a guy, because like it's not my fault if he leaves. Like sometimes it can be.
Can't relate.
I was just saying.
Cannot relate.
But like for me, like I don't think it's about like my inability to keep men around. I think it's more like I will. What was that?
Sorry.
It's like I'll like dig deep enough to find out that like you're not like emotionally mature enough to like answer the questions I'm asking and to be the person that I'm looking for, and then you'll get scared and leave.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Come here. I want you to explain what you said a couple of episodes ago about how
Run it back.
about how a woman, she may struggle with keeping a man. I want you to explain that.
You just put him on the spot so hard.
It's like
What episode is this? About struggling to keep it.
okay.
Do you struggle to keep a man, Parker?
Answer honestly.
Okay.
No wrong answers.
Okay, so you
here.
mentioned
You're
how
under oath.
On the Bible.
Okay, so maybe last week you mentioned how a woman can be with 20 men, but not one of them kept her or take it seriously.
Oh wow.
So this goes with the whole reason on how body count could matter in this sense, right? So it's not the fact that you've been
It's cooking.
ran through or, absolutely
Hot dog down the hallway.
I don't want to go back there.
That was
Shout out Trey.
But this is a big reason on sexual past and why it matters to a certain degree, is that it's not the fact that 20 guys have absolutely banged you to death and you've had 20 pregnancies.
That's quite of a visual
shoved down your
statement.
bumhole,
Yeah.
right?
So was hot
But-
dog down the hallway?
It's not. That's not. They're not mad about that. They're mad.
BBC is crazy.
They're mad. Yeah, BBC is crazy. They're mad about the fact that 20 guys have, had sex with you,
Got what they worked for.
got what they wanted, got what they worked for. But
Yeah.
none of those 20 guys kept you around,
I think it comes back to the idea
which makes
that
the girl the common denominator. Because at some
So we're just
point,
whores.
because at some point,
Wow.
because you got to think about it, at some point, 20
control
guys,
the game.
It shouldn't take 20 guys for you to be like, okay, these aren't the kind of men I need to pursue.
Yeah,
Right?
I will say this. I will say this.
So at some point, it does become the woman's fault.
Here's a good question for you.
because we guard
Why
the
would here's a question for you? Why would man number 21? Okay, what would you provide to make man number 21 try harder than those other 20 guys? Because here's my question: if a woman's standards are on the floor, why would a man shoot for the ceiling?
I wouldn't waste my time.
That's my
Say it
question.
one more time.
If a woman's standards were on the floor, why would a man shoot for the ceiling?
They wouldn't. They just
If
wouldn't-
okay,
If you didn't learn
Wouldn't get
anything
past
from the last
sexual.
20 guys,
because
Yeah, that's
then
I'm
you're
about to
not
put-
going to become the
issue.
woman that they're going to look for just because they're 21.
because listen, I will put you on some game real quickly. If a man, okay, all right, I'm about to put you ladies on some game real quickly, okay? No, and I don't think any man's ever told you guys this, okay?
Uh-oh.
Because
I'm scared.
Because
I've heard
most
a
men,
lot of shit
because
from
most men,
men.
they go, because there's a lot of men out here who they want to take advantage of y'all, all right? But I will say this: if a man can put in the bare minimum and still get 95% of the benefits, he will never change. I will let you guys know that right
and
now.
he'll never give you the label.
He will
No,
never
I agree with
change. If he can put in the bare minimum and still get 95% of what you have to offer, he's not going to become a different man.
But I think it comes back to like, yeah, it might be the bare minimum, but like nowadays, like the bare minimum is so much to females. Like it's bad.
It's because that's been normalized too, and
Yeah.
you have to
People
be the one
nowadays,
that's different.
People nowadays brag about things that they're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
it's like
It's like God forbid he opens the door. Like
it's like
that's
it's
bare minimum.
it's like, but they want firework rewards for sprinkler effort,
Yeah.
yeah.
and it's very weird.
That's a
Yeah,
great-
it's
that's really
it's
good.
weird, but I mean.
Don't last that long.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's like but that's just the way it is, and it's like it's the same thing for women to us men. if you guys knew good and damn well that you were given the bare minimum and we still got down on one knee, you guys were thinking, hey, yo, I'm doing everything right now, okay? If I saw that this guy was, willing to give me that commitment.
Think about all the guys are banging these chicks, not getting into a committed relationship with them, but they're still able to get sex from all these girls. They're thinking, shoot, I ain't got to do nothing. I'm good. I ain't got to improve. I ain't got to do no work. It's the same for a girl that's had a while, that acts a certain way, but still gets the ring. She ain't going to think that she has to change.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
it applies on both sides.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't really have a problem with, if a woman felt like that, because it'd be our own fault if we gave her that ring and she saw no reason to change or get better.
In relationships, they're what you say all the time. It's not about finding the right person.
It's
about
becoming the right person.
And growing together.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think that's where society's downfall is. It's been so normalized to expect the bare minimum, and for the bare minimum to be like the best you can get.
Yeah,
And-
no, not me.
No,
Not
but
me.
See, like a guy, like Raegan said, like a guy holds open the door and you're like, oh my God, he's the nicest person ever. I'm in love.
So
That's how I know girls are cooked. You show good treatment to a girl, and they're like,
well, to be fair,
Yeah.
it's because we're so used to being treated like shit.
But my thing is that as I talked to my little sister about this. She's
That's a whole
16,
nother-
and I try
That's a whole
to
nother
kind of protect her from hurt out of personal experience. And I say like, she's like, oh my gosh, this guy paid for my food and opened the door and whatnot.
To do.
And I said, okay, cool. He met your bare minimum. Now he has to go up from there. As in, that's your okay. Like I'll let him pursue me. Like don't tolerate anything that's less than that. So if you want something serious, don't play the games. I mean, if he does the bare minimum, then that gives him the check mark to
Continue
go from
on,
there
Yeah.
and not accept that. He needs to go from there. That's bare minimum to even let him even pursue you to begin with.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
why it comes back to my thing in the beginning, how I've never been in a relationship, but I don't think I expect a lot. I know what I want, and I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste someone else's time if I don't see if they don't treat me well from the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Right from
valid.
the
That's
beginning.
valid. That's valid. I mean, I don't think anyone should have a problem with you saying that.
Yeah, I don't know if I explain what I meant the right way, but if they show you the bare minimum, and they have to go up from there. See, you're given
Yes,
the okay to
queen.
be pursued.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give you a chance if you do the bare minimum. If they don't even do the bare minimum in the beginning, they're off the roster. If that makes sense.
You got a healthy mindset, girlfriend.
That's why I'm apparently still. What's the word for it? Single. Hit me up.
If they got
Actually, don't.
As a man with a 17-year-old sister, okay, I just have this question for you, so that way that I'm able to understand her, because that's what I'm still trying to do every day, is to understand how she thinks, how she operates. So here's my question for y'all. What the hell does the phrase "I'm just a girl" mean?
I'm literally just a girl.
What the
It's
fuck?
I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby.
What the
Just
hell does
trying
that
to
mean?
justify
Any action.
delusional.
Yeah.
I like
think
that
it's
answer.
a justification of
I like that
delusion.
answer a lot.
Thank you.
I love that answer a
I
lot.
don't say much, but when I do, it's facts.
Oh,
I
God.
love that answer a lot.
Let her speak.
I love that answer a lot. But you said that you had a question, right?
Dun dun dun.
Can I get a drum roll, please? What's y'all's opinions on hookup culture?
I have a great opinion on hookup culture.
She's so excited. She said me first.
I want to specifically mention exclusively talking. This is a great.
When she looked in the camera, she's talking to
Oh,
somebody
I
out
will.
there.
So basically, I think that exclusively talking is the most bullshit thing to ever exist,
Amen.
because
Facts.
it creates a gray area of being able to pursue others without getting called a cheater.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I had a past 6-month, I hate the term situationship, but it was. And I got confirmation that we were exclusive with each other. And
But he wouldn't put a label on it.
he wouldn't put a label on it. And
Question: were you exclusive to him while he was still open to others?
he told me he wasn't pursuing anybody else. And I told him I was not pursuing anything else either. Which, again, was stupid. But then later on I asked for a label. And then God forbid I asked for a label because, oh my God, I'm not ready. is dating the girl 2 weeks later. Literally,
Crazy.
Olivia Rodrigo's Traitor song is what happened to me. But my point is that I
I know who you're
can't
talking
technically
about.
consider him a cheater because we were talking.
Okay, and I will tell you, just from being a guy and knowing how guys think, that's usually something that we do if we like the woman, but we don't want to be with them at that moment while still simultaneously pursuing other women. That's one thing that us guys would do. We will hold you hostage while
It's
we
selfish.
still.
It's
like an
it
excuse to
is
not be
selfish.
all
Until
in.
someone
It
someone
is
better
selfish. It's open.
comes along.
It's open on their end and closed on yours. And yes, that is selfish. But yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you how that really sounded like it went. I mean, it sounded more like he was open on his end while you were closed on yours.
Well, and he lied to me. He said
Yeah.
he was close, but I mean, I learned a lot from there, and I asked for a label just to get that clarity and confirmation that we are exclusive, which is simply what I was asking for.
Yeah.
After 6 months.
After 6 months, yeah, you really
And
know
catching
this.
flights. Oh, it was bad, and it was bad because it was long distance too. But it was I mean, it's simple. Like if he can't give you a label, and you are quote unquote exclusive, the answer is simple. It's just because he wants to pursue. I mean, he just want to keep his options open,
But he
Yeah,
still
exactly.
likes the
and
attention
it's all
from you.
excuses.
Yeah.
Well, back to what we were talking
Yeah.
about earlier with the fact that you were saying like a man knows what he wants within 10 minutes. That is like, I live by that at this point in my life.
Yeah,
because
yeah, we know
if
1,000%.
he knows what he wants, he's going to do whatever he has to get it. And if he's obviously not doing that, he's making excuses for it, then he
Yeah,
either
yeah, exactly.
knows what he wants and it's not
Exactly.
you, or he doesn't
He wants
know
to lead you
anything.
on.
Exactly. Have you seen that Lego meme of that man who was just like, he was like, yeah, exactly.
Delusion.
You know what meme I'm talking about, right, Parker? It was that meme of that guy. He was like, it looked like he was at like a dance and he saw like something like beautiful. He was like, yeah, exactly. You know that. Yeah, that's how most men we really are. Like whenever we see a girl that we like, because when we love just like that. Like we
they're
will really
simple.
know.
Men are simple.
Yeah,
Very.
we as simple as we are, yeah, women still fucking up.
Yes, that's why. Back to the beginning of this
How's
episode.
that still happen?
Well, it's because I think men are better communicators because they're so simple. They're easy to understand and they're easy to decode, as with our FBI skills. So if they if they're backing off or whatever, simple. They don't want to keep pursuing you. So
Yeah.
don't chase even harder.
I will say this as men.
I love the chase.
We curve.
It's kind of fun, but it gets old.
We curve.
It does.
Look, we are way different than women. How we curve, y'all. We curve slowly, while you just curve us fast as hell. You
Well,
curve us like that.
We make an
See-
executive decision with all of the different feelings and
Yeah.
everything, and there we go.
the way that
Exactly.
I go
You
about
curve
it,
us just like that, which I love, by the way.
The way that
which
I go about it, which
hold
is-
on to me.
honestly not a good thing, and I don't know why I do it, but like if a guy will show interest in me and I'm like, you get the hell away from me, and then when he's not interested anymore, I'm like, oh my god,
That's
sorry, I'm like,
You're part of the problem. You know that?
I'm the problem.
You are part of the problem. I will have to admit that. But back to your question, how do I feel about hookup culture? I mean,
Terrible. I get attached too easily.
I will say this: it is what it is, right? I mean, I'm not really engaging in hookup culture, I guess you could say. I mean, I can honestly say that I'm not really engaging. I mean, you might hear me talk, okay, and talk all this shit, but I'm not really engaging in all this, okay? I'm just saying all this for shits and giggles. But except for the stuff that I know for a fact is true, okay? But I will say this about hookup culture: I don't control it. Men, we don't control it. Women
Facts.
control it, and I think when the majority of the women finally live off what they're actually saying that they want from a man, then I think that's when men will actually change.
Well,
Like,
then
for
it sucks
example-
because once women realize what like the reality they've created is, then they can't get out of it once they mature enough to realize that that's actually not what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and I will say this: if a lot of good men were getting rewarded, we would have 10 times as many good men that we have right now.
Yeah, and you have to set the standard from the beginning. And like for me personally, it's like they're like, "Oh my gosh, like you're not gonna like," and I'm like, "No." And then honestly, sometimes it's like it flips a switch. Like they see me differently after.
Yeah,
And it's like I think I saw a video on this, and it's like actually I read this book. It's called Why Men Love Bitches, and it's actually have you read it?
No.
Okay, fantastic. We're not sponsored by this, obviously, but I can't remember what it's on Amazon for like $15. Best $15 I've ever spent. And Bitches isn't like said in a way that it's like denouncing women, but it's more of like holding your own and knowing your worth and like being able to like leave when needed, basically. So and it was a sense of like being able to hold your worth and like knowing that like it mentioned how like don't give yourself away the first time, because women get attached physically and immediately with physical connection and intimacy, but men get attached with still pursuing with not getting that from them. I don't know if I'm wording it the same way, but it was like if you hold out as long as you can, they're gonna want what they can't get. So it's how long you can. The game is how long you can go without doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a respect thing
I like
too.
your answer.
Thank you.
I like your answer.
It was beautiful, Raegan.
And
Thank you.
And like you just said, I believe that. Hey, I think we as human beings, we all want what we can't have. I think that's one thing as human beings. That's part of the reason why I don't really try to, I guess you could say, approach anymore, unless I'm just like really, really like. Unless I'm like really like in the mood. I'm talking like I do this to my hands beforehand, and then I do something like a corny ass walk, like
do the dice roll like.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing
do
that.
it. Please
just a little funny.
One time.
For the one time, please.
Clickbait. Kidding.
I'm not doing that. I can't do it sitting down like this.
Yes, you can.
Not sitting down like this.
Yes, you can. With your arm backwards behind the mic.
Come on, give it to us.
What?
No. Whoa, that looked wrong.
No, that was way terrible. You better cut that out too. For the love of God, cut that out.
Keep it in.
No.
Clip it.
Keep it
No.
in.
No.
Clickbait.
No.
Thumbnail.
No.
Literally.
No.
He
God,
said-
no. But
Anyways.
no. But like what I was saying though, I think.
Justin Birch did what?
Don't you start. They're gonna put me on. They're gonna put me on TikTok. Okay, but.
That's you said.
But like I said, for the rare times that I do approach a woman, I do make it known that, hey, I'm trying to approach you, like trying to take something like serious, That's really most of the time where I try to approach a woman is that if I want to take her seriously, and I think I let it known early. Mm-hmm. I'll ask, hey, what are you doing Friday night? I say, hey, we're doing this Friday night. I'll ask her if she wants to go there. I just tell her that we're doing that because I believe that you guys like a man who can make plans.
Yes,
being intentional is the
I've paid
key thing for
attention.
me.
I paid attention to that, so I don't really ask, hey, do you want to do this? I say, hey, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Assuming that she's free.
Yeah.
Assuming that she's free. I'll be like, hey, I'm doing this if you want to.
Free up your schedule, baby
If
girl.
you're free, you're coming too.
I was like,
Yeah, it's just being intentional and pursuing full-heartedly, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was saying in the beginning too. Is just being intentional with your actions, and I'll give you a chance if you show you're an intentional person and want me, not 18 different people.
Yeah, I try to make it known that you're wanted.
And that goes with, we were talking about body count earlier too, and it's like I listened to this sermon a while back, and every time you I've faulted before too, and every time you give yourself away to people and you can't get those pieces back, and I want to be as full as I can for my future husband.
Yeah.
And that's just me being intentional in protecting myself and my heart, and protecting the way my future husband thinks of me.
Yeah, and
Back to hot dog in a hallway. That
Shout out Trey.
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah, and I think with myself, I realized that I was different than at least 98% of most men out here.
He's not like most girls.
Because I have one
He's
thing,
different, guys. Got that on camera.
Hit him up.
because I have one
He's
thing
cooking.
that these other 98% of men don't have. And it's the thing that I discussed last week. It's called dick discipline.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Define it for me, please.
Elaborate.
Basically, I don't want to fuck anything that moves.
so
Oh
many
wow,
men will.
you're definitely different.
Either drunk and sober.
No, seriously. That's actually
Appreciate
genuine
it.
applause.
Okay. Because I was told by a great man by the name of David Burke, my granddad. Okay. He told me a saying, and I thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. Okay. But I'm starting to realize what he's talking about now because I see it around me. He's told me this. When you have alcohol consumed in you, a girl looks like a 2 at 10 and a 10 at 2.
Yeah, you go home with a 10 from the bar and you wake up with a 2.
Yeah, you wake up to a girl who looks like somebody's brother,
Oh,
and then you can start asking questions. You be shocked
Like-
as shit.
You're like, is there a man in my bed? Hold on.
I'd be like, hard. Am I gay?
Oh, is this my awakening?
I was like,
Put that clip
Thumbnail.
clip from earlier.
Am I gay?
Am I
I'm
gay?
not doing that to myself. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Make an edit out of it. That'd be
clouds
beautiful.
your judgment, and like you want to be sober-minded and clear-headed when pursuing someone.
Yeah, plus I like to know that I have standards, and I like to know that I have the ability to say no to pussy.
Slay.
It's power. I mean,
Which is not something that a lot of men have.
Very true. That's why
That-
Well, and it's
women
really
control
hard for,
hookup
like-
culture.
Well, it's also really hard for like if women are throwing themselves at a guy, like they're probably gonna do something about it.
Yeah, because most
So-
men take whatever they can get.
Yeah.
Facts.
so. I mean, it's about having respect for. I mean, it's respect for yourself.
Yeah,
It goes both ways, both men and
Yeah.
women. Yeah.
I also think that like such a reason that like hookup culture is such a big deal right now is because people aren't dating for marriage. And
Yeah.
like for me, like that's what I'm dating for.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the
I'm-
goal.
Yes.
I'm never gonna like quote unquote be part of hookup culture intentionally, at least, because like for me, like okay, I'm talking to this guy or I'm talking to this guy or this guy's taking me out and we're hanging out, whatever. It's with intention of like vetting somebody to find out if they're like future husband material. Like it's never gonna be like, oh, I'm just hanging out with all these guys for fun or whatever. Like I'm not gonna waste my time pursuing you if you are not like the man that I'm looking for.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And like how we discussed, I believe that while women also control hookup culture, they're the ones who are really the winners of hookup culture. Cause there's a lot. Cause me and Parker, we don't want to be those guys, man. But we will address this. Okay, we've seen a lot of women change the trajectory of their lives because they could capitalize off their sexuality with this thing that we like to call OnlyFans. Yep. And all right, and with this thing called OnlyFans, they realize that there's not a lot of men out here who are able to attain sexual sex, basically. There's not a lot of men doing that. It's probably a small percentage of men because there's statistics that show that 1 out of 3 men haven't had sex in a year and or is a virgin. So there's not a lot of men out here who are having a lot of sex. And these women, they know this because the porn industry, it wouldn't be so popular if men were out here having sex.
Pretty privilege is a thing.
And I will say this. Did you know that the porn industry makes more than the NBA?
That's
NFL?
insane.
I would say
That's
They make
really
more-
depressing.
Look, they make
actually.
more than the NBA, NFL, MLB, and the UFC combined.
What?
That's really
insane.
depressing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That shows you how far our nation has fallen.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and that shows like most
Love
men
America.
like most men out here, they are not really capable of being hoes. I guess you could say. All right. Well, I believe that there's a difference between being a hoe and being capable of being a hoe, but not exercising it. There's not a lot of men
called
who
discipline.
Yeah, exactly. There's not a lot of men who are capable of being hoes, and those statistics right there. I mean, it shows. So women know that. That hookup culture thing. They know that they can capitalize off it just by having an OnlyFans account. I see women freaking make millions off.
Oh yeah.
OnlyFans.
Yeah,
It's crazy. I mean, but that's just the way it is. I mean, I'm not really complaining about it. I'm like, hey, yo, man, go do you. I mean, but
Get your bag, queen.
exactly, man. It's like, hey, yo, man. It's like, hey, yo, man, you can do whatever you want, man. I mean, it's your body, your money. But it's like, but don't expect people to like
Respect you if you can't respect yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like
That's
like
why
don't-
hookup culture is as bad as it is too, because there's just this big rift in like self-respect.
yeah, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's like they still expect me to respect them, while the reality shows that you're not respecting yourself. It's like
Because the values aren't aligning.
Well, and it's
Yeah,
like
who
whoever
do
was
you say
talking
you are?
about like saving as many pieces of themselves for their future husband. Like this sounds really messed up because like go them, like I don't care, that's
Yeah.
your business.
Yeah.
But like when those porn stars get married one day, like what is special for their husband?
I mean,
Like what is left?
There's
If
nothing-
everyone on the
it's like-
internet has seen it,
Yeah,
like
it's like-
why would you
And
want to
so many
marry
men have
that?
already had
Like,
it.
Yeah,
that's not saying they don't have
yeah.
good personalities and they aren't like good. Like I'm not gonna say good people, but
Yeah,
you get
it's
what I
like-
mean.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's
what's
like is
left?
that yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's like
There's
I
no
can't.
Modesty is hot.
Exactly,
So
and people
hot.
can't have. And men out here, they probably having their DM flooded with videos of their wife, just like taking like toy BBCs up her butthole and stuff. Right? And
that
guess
was
what?
too much.
And guess what? And guess what? It's gonna make people break their fucking necks. Okay, all right. These men out here, they gonna be. I can't say. They're gonna be deleting themselves, and from going through stuff like that. And real men, I say men of value. Men who are worth the damn, the men that you guys actually pay attention to, and the men that I aspire to be, they're not going to put up with that. So,
As they shouldn't.
yeah. So, so a woman will more than likely be with a man who she doesn't really admire or respect, just because that her options they go way down whenever she gets in that industry. Mm-hmm. She automatically disqualifies herself when she gets into that.
Oh yeah.
Certain line. I
Well,
mean,
and if you asked how many men on that that subscribe to her would actually date her, I bet you none of them would. Like,
oh
no.
no. They'll still, but they'll still, freaking
Like, for the right reasons, no.
exactly. Now, don't get me wrong, they'll still try to fuck, but they're not
Yeah.
gonna date her.
And like, I don't think people realize the extent to like with the internet and like today's day and age, like that shit is on there forever.
Yeah, it's
Every post,
And it can go everywhere.
It's crazy.
Every
Like
post,
your future employers are looking at it, your kids are looking at it.
That's what-
Imagine finding your mom on Pornhub, dude.
Bro.
I'm like, I was crying.
I'm sorry, I cannot. Like,
I was crying.
Or husband.
Yeah.
because you're not only
It's
setting
'cause I heard
setting an
getting bullied.
example for like you're setting an example for your reputation, the reputation of your family, the reputation of the family you create. Like other people are gonna see this, and that is associated with your name. Like I just cannot wrap my mind.
It's just
around
like
that.
Mia Khalifa. Like Mia Khalifa has stopped like doing porn or whatever.
But her
and,
name
like,
can be known forever.
she's just
Yeah.
sexualized.
She is
every
still
time she-
looked at as just an object.
Yeah, it's crazy because because that's how she. I'm sorry to say, but that's
Portrayed
how she put
herself.
herself out
Yeah.
there. I mean, she.
which will come with
put-
repercussions, and it's like,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
really
like
feel bad for her.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
like
Actions.
it's like she be shocked as hell whenever she has to deal with the consequences. Me and Parker over here, we was over here. We saw a video of her. We was just laughing our asses off. We saw a video of her talking about something. Me and him, we were laughing profusely.
I know she's like
I
went on
started crying.
podcasts. She's went on podcasts and she talks about like not wanting people to like sexualize her anymore because she's out of the porn industry. But I'm like, you put yourself in there for so long.
Like she sexualized herself first.
She did, yeah.
And it's like she said that she's been like threatened by like ISIS and stuff. It's like, man, it's crazy, man. It's like, dang, the consequences of your actions, man.
Yeah.
Those really
They're
hit
catching
different
up
now.
to
it's
you.
about accountability, and like if you want,
And they don't want to take accountability, man. Accountability to women like that is like kryptonite.
Facts.
yeah,
It's like spoiled milk at that point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We can like tie in that with like with being like with I guess like even being a modern day feminist. Like I mean, I
Yeah.
would be totally okay with like being a housewife. My mom is, and I'm so blessed that she was able to like be there for me and my siblings all growing up, and like being there like before and after school, and like I'd be okay with that. But now it's like we're almost pushed so hard to be equivalent to men in
Yeah.
society, and like
You're almost
we're
shamed for
different.
staying at home.
Yeah.
You remember when being a housewife was a status symbol for women?
Yeah. Women that didn't have to work.
Exactly. Yeah, because because I be seeing stuff on my Snapchat all the time, like who fought for women's rights? I don't want to work no more.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, as I'm like in undergrad right now and might go to law school.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be totally okay. I would love to be home and raise my kids. I don't want anyone else to raise my kids besides myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's so pushed nowadays to have two incomes in a home, and it's like,
When it's like we're already living in a broken society of broken people who are usually missing a parental figure.
Yeah.
So then why would you like force like both parents to work? Because I don't want my kids to be in daycare all day long.
Yeah.
Or like have a
Like-
babysitter.
have someone else.
Like you know how
raise them.
like all the
Yeah.
horror stories with babysitters like killing their kids. Like
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's
Yeah.
like if you're raising children that don't have that like resource of parents and that support system of parents because they're gone all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's not healthy. But then we're talking about, like, forcing women to be in the workforce, and I don't think there needs to be stigma around that because, like, for me, like, I picked a career where I'm planning on working from home the rest of my life. So then I'm still bringing in an income. I'm still, like, I have a professional career. I have a degree, but I'm also able to be a full-time mom on top of that. And, like, I don't think that they give enough credit to women who are full-time moms because, like, my mom, I'm a twin and I have a little brother. She had 3 kids that were toddlers. Like, that is a full-time job.
Yeah, and I'll capitalize your point by saying this. Me and Parker, we talked about this one day, and we both agreed, and we both talked about what our dream scenario is with our woman. We want our woman to do whatever she wants to do, whether that's work or stay at home. Now, if she chooses to work, we want her to know that she can tell the job to kiss her ass, knowing that she can go back home and feel fine because she knows that she has a man who provides for her. That's the level where we want to get at.
Yeah, to where it's like it's an option. Like, if you're not happy, then like don't waste your time.
Exactly. I want her to feel like she can flip off her boss, knowing that she'll be okay.
Yeah,
that's where I want her.
Yeah, I think that's healthy.
Well, and you don't want to like put someone in a position to where like they can't stand up for themselves because it threatens their livelihood.
Yeah, exactly. I want her to feel like she has to do that. I think that's pretty fair, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I would love that.
Like,
I would love that.
Like, if you're talking about like a nuclear family, like originally, like the man is supposed to not only like support the household, but like be the man of the household. And I feel like we're living in a culture where that's almost like taboo because they're all about woohoo, feminism, equality, whatever. Okay,
we're not equal.
We're not equal. We were built differently for a reason. Okay,
I
like
didn't say that.
Wait,
you said not me.
I'm not saying that like it doesn't make women versus men any more valuable than the other. They're meant to be different things. Yeah. And like God literally gave us different things to do different things. Like a man is not supposed to have a child. Like, I'm sorry, they're not supposed to. That's not how they were built.
No.
And so like there are families where men stay home and homeschool their kids, and I think that's great because that is their family dynamic. But like I think like society is making it so taboo to like kind of like be against this standard these days because if you talk to like my mom doesn't work. She can work. She's got a master's degree, but she doesn't work unless she has to. Hey. And honestly, like God gave that gift to my family to be able to support ourselves without my mom being able to work. And so like I don't think like when I talk to people and I'm like, oh yeah, my mom doesn't work, like that shouldn't be taboo because that is the way my family functions. And honestly, that's the way the nuclear family functioned as well. I'm like, that's what worked best. So the fact that we've strayed so far from that is just really...
You know why?
It shows how bad.
Because of hookup culture.
That's real.
Hey.
Ding, 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 ding. Give it that ding.
Great answers, lady. Those are some really good answers. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of women who've gone through the ringer, and then when they finally see that they have a man of substance, they're shocked whenever they receive good treatment. It's like they believe that it's too good to be true. So it makes me question, like, how much do you really value yourself at that point?
I have a comment on this one. Am I allowed to use my resources?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a text that I sent my boyfriend like a paragraph last night. Just like, okay, distraction. I have ADHD. Let me focus. Okay. No. So I sent my boyfriend a text last night, and it was like just like a paragraph, just like showing my appreciation. And I was basically saying, I said, being in a relationship like ours is something I've always dreamed of. And at one point in my life, I genuinely wondered if I'd set my expectations too high. Turns out I didn't because then I met you. I've never had a love like ours, and I don't think I've ever been able to fully understand what it meant to be truly loved. And then I met him, and I told him he rewired my brain chemistry. And like for me, I said, you also make it so easy for me to love me. I've never had someone look at me the way you do, the type of way that genuinely makes me believe it for the first time in my life.
Stop, the waterworks are coming.
I'm sorry, but like
I'm gonna cry on.
And like I think like television. And like I told him, but like this is something I've waited a really long time for, and I'm so like endlessly thankful for like God putting him in my life. But like for me, it's like Like, I've been treated like shit so many times. I've been cheated on so many times. I've been in a relationship in a year and a half. Like, I was dating this guy for 2.5 years. I thought he was everything to me. Ended the relationship because God had other plans. And then it turned out like this was what was waiting for me. I was single for a year and a half because I needed time to become the person I needed to be for him. And so, like, getting to the point where, like, I realized that, like, it was all worth something, and me going through so many different situationships and men that did treat me like shit made me really know what I did want. And, like, that doesn't mean you have to, because I strongly suggest not going through it. But, like, I have a phenomenal idea of what I'm looking for because, like, I've been treated poorly so many times. And so now, like, it was kind of shocking to me to have a man that genuinely like wants to be seen with me and wants to be around with me and wants me to meet his friends and wants to stop what he's doing when I call, which is crazy. Like, it's been so much like through the ringer of just like she's just there, not like I'm gonna completely derail my plans because you were that important to me. And so like being actually put first by a man is like so crazy to me because like that's just so not something I'm used to.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, and sometimes, man, it's a little bit different for us too because we're not used to putting someone before ourselves. Like, for example, man, like it takes a special kind of woman for her to meet my friends, meet my family. Heck, man, it takes a special kind of woman for you to meet grandma. Okay,
there's a lot of trust there.
Yeah,
you know
man, that's
crazy?
like what
I flew up to meet his family. The guy I was telling you about.
Oh God,
he had a girl there 2 days before I got there.
And the whole family kept the secret.
What the fuck?
I know. My point is, I was like, anyways, I just had to throw that in there.
God, that's
Shout out.
horrible.
Should I name drop?
You know who you are.
yes.
And I'll believe it
It's on TikTok, so
Yeah, his girlfriend's famous on TikTok. So
though. All right,
Whoops.
ladies.
oh God, let him
So
cook.
this has been a very, very great episode. I think it's episode 34, right?
Yes, sir.
Of the Burchalations podcast. So we thank y'all both for coming. Yeah, give yourself a clap. With that being said, I would like to ask y'all one last question just to give y'all the floor and leave y'all with the final thoughts, right? So this final question is, what is one thing y'all wish men understood better about women? Think about this.
Not ready for that one.
I gotta think. You might need to like give me like 30 seconds. Say it one more time. Sorry.
What is one thing that you wish that men understood more about women?
I think like,
Emotions, I guess. Sorry.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think for me, I was gonna say like our tendency to like overthink, because like for me, like the reason I overthink is like a compilation of all of like the things I've been through in the past, and like for me, like I know like my current boyfriend will never cheat on me because he's just not the kind of person that would, but that doesn't mean that my brain's not gonna go there because that's what I'm used to. And I think that like if I'm like, well, what were you doing? Like whatever, if I'm being extra like questioning of him or whatever, it's not because I don't trust him. It's because that's my brain chemistry is used to being treated like shit. And so like, I guess I just wish like guys would kind of like understand, like try to be more empathetic and like put themselves in our shoes. Like I'm not trying to like look for the worst in you, but that's what I'm used to. So I'm trying to like be careful and like guard my heart.
I will say one thing as well. I've learned from experience that whenever you tend to overthink, it kills your peace a lot of the times. So
You have to stay grounded within yourself and like realize that, I don't know.
exactly. So if someone like shows that they're like invested into you, that I would take their word for it. If they actually like show it, not just say it. If they show it.
Well, and if someone's like genuinely ready in a position to prove that to you, like I said, like my boyfriend's literally rewiring my brain chemistry because he's the first person that has treated me with utmost respect, and like he's the first person that I can genuinely trust, And so like I think that's different. Like it's unwriting the cycles, but like I just like. Overall, like out of all of the guys like I've been with, like I wish they would understand like where I'm coming from and like why. And like I'll tell them that and then they'll kind of like write it off. And like that's how you know they're not the right one, obviously. But like just not really understanding like, oh, okay, cool, that happened to you, like, I'm sorry, but you don't understand like how that affected me.
Yeah.
And like women are very emotional beings, so like you have to understand that like when something happens to us, like I'm gonna think about it for a year, like I'm gonna take it to heart, and I'm going to like literally like it's going to become part of me. So I like, for me, like even with like relationship or like with like friendships with guys, like if I'm like giving you my trauma, like that's something that I'm trusting you with, and that's something that like I expect you to respect me like in the same way, and that's just like not the case so often.
Pretty valid.
Yeah.
Pretty valid. Yeah, man. Don't let her talk for you, man. You got an opinion too.
I agree with Cass.
High five. Solid.
Huh?
I
That was perfect timing.
that
How about you, Raegan?
that not all girls are the same, not all guys are the same.
Juice WRLD.
And right, all girls. How's that song go? All girls are the same. Anyways, yeah. I mean, take people as individual people, and don't put that on other people, expecting them that they will act the same way.
Yeah.
Because
You
say
wanna touch my ball?
hypothetically,
Sorry.
I would love to touch your ball. It's so
Squishy.
sparkly.
Oh,
Squishy.
sorry, Raegan.
I have the worst ADHD, so it's really trying to remember what was I even saying?
You were
I don't
talking about how
remember.
not all guys are the same, not girls are the same.
Yeah, I mean that's not. I mean, I wish that girls would understand that more about guys too. So I think it would eliminate a lot of miscommunication, and just it all comes back to like showing intention from the beginning. Like, what do you want out of this?
Yeah.
Which will clear up a lot of confusion. It'll clear up the game. It'll clear up everything. So like, don't waste. It's about wasting your time. And
Yeah. And
I
I
just
think
wish people were just
yeah,
more honest
and
about
I
what
think-
they wanted.
yeah, and I think that we both admit, and when we tend to block our blessings whenever we try to project. So I think that we should just like project less. Whatever you or make how not all girls are the same, not all guys are the same. I usually tend to give like every woman that I approach the benefit of a doubt, because like I mean it's not fair to put that same projections on the people before her.
Stereotypes
her.
is the word you're looking for.
And I want my word.
Sure.
to mean,
Well, generalizations.
Generalizations.
I'll say
is really good.
generalizations.
I want my word and his word to mean something too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, something different. Something different.
Wow.
I don't know if that actually answered the question at all, but like I just
Wait,
you
can
did.
we, before we end this, can we read your shirt?
Yeah.
And to Felicia, the Lord saith,
face the well.
Face the well.
Fare thee well.
Fare the well.
Farewell.
Oh, sorry,
I don't
can't
get
remember.
Ah.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Oh, that's
Oh,
sorry.
that's funny. I figured it was something clever, but like my brain, like
yeah, I'm not
did
that smart, so like that's
Don't
funny.
say that. You're
What did the chair do to you?
Stupid.
What did the chair do to you?
That was my knee.
Oh, I
The
thought it
knee
was the chair.
What's that? Was like,
All right, I'm traumatized. Let's stop.
okay, that's
Okay.
enough.
Oh, and the
That
headphones
is
are
enough.
gone.
Right.
That's a wrap, ladies
Stop
and
the
gentlemen.
cackling.
And that does it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. All of our social medias will be in the link down below. Make sure you follow all the guests on their Instagrams as well, which will be in the link down below as well, man. You know,
Adios,
help them out.
shawties.
You know,
Thank
you
you.
gotta earn their Snapchat.
If you
I
made
don't know
it
how
this
you
far,
gonna
I'm
do
proud
that.
of
Yeah,
you.
you're
You're
gonna
not
have to
going
work.
to.
You're gonna have to work for it.
You're not
Considering
gonna
one of
earn
them
it.
had the boyfriend, which I mean that's game over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, leave
Yeah,
her
no,
alone.
I'm kind of obsessed with him.
But yeah, so all the girls that and all the guys that are out here situationships and actually believe in that stuff, I got news for you.
Don't.
You're cooked, and it's game
You're
over
cooked.
for you
You're
guys.
You're cooked, kid.
You're cooked, kid.
Yeah.
That was good. Play it again. I was dancing.
Yes. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
See you